Hello, everyone. It's been a long time since I made a video. I just want to talk about war. I mean, the times that we are living in, are we hearing more about war? Civil War, World War II, World War III. I mean, it's getting really tense around here. What is wrong with people? Why do people want to fight? And there's wars going on and everywhere, all over the country, and war in the neighborhoods, war in our homes. We don't talk enough about it, especially as Black people. We don't talk enough about war, you know. And I have seen some movies about uh, Black soldiers and stuff like that. And I tell you, the best one I saw was Red Tails, and it's not like the ones that they made back in the 40s and stuff like that, or even the one that they made about Pearl Harbor. But it did have a good storyline, and they did show some combat. Okay, but we don't talk about it enough. Like we're scared. And I seen this one documentary about this back in the World War II, about this black guy. He was a soldier, and oh, I wish I had wrote his name down. And he just got back from going to war, and he was on a bus who went to a white bus driver to ask if he could get off the bus and go relieve himself. Well, the white man said something to him, and then the black man said something to him, and when the bus stopped, they called the police, and the police beat him so bad that he was blind. And his name was Isaac Woodward Jr. from South Carolina. They beat him so bad that he was completely, permanently blinded. Uh, so we don't talk enough about war and how we can. I talk to my kids because I tell them, you know what, we're living in a climate, in an atmosphere that could explode anytime. Through all the world wars and stuff, we never really was devastated like other places, but it could happen. You know, uh, it's a shame to say, and a lot has happened with war. A lot of things have came from war. You know how we have better response to uh, attacks and emergencies, and a lot of better surgery came out. Because can you imagine having surgery with bombs going off around you? And so it's devastating. But I just want to talk a little bit about war. And I made a little recording this morning because I'm a war buff. I love it. I love looking at war movies because it's one thing about war movies. It is a uh, everybody is engaged. Everybody is affected, and it shows you how the worst and the best comes out of people.
Talking about a fantasy world, a mystical world. Yes, a magical world. Now you look at these leaders, and it's not enough people asking why. I was looking at the movie Tora Tora, and the Japanese that attacked Pearl Harbor. Why? You got nothing out of it. You attacked and killed all those people, and then I think
Oh, yeah, I had the music playing, but what I was thinking that Tora Tora is about the attack on Pearl Harbor, and the Japanese they did all that and then had to surrender. What, a year later? What did they get out of it? All them people lost their life, all that destruction for what? Same thing with uh, the war over there in Ukraine. Russia, they want their country, they want a country back that they lost. So you're going to kill all these people, destroy all these buildings and homes and stuff for what? To get some land? You know, y'all going to be fighting over this land for what, the next 1,000 years? And just like over there in Israel, they is fighting. Israelites and Palestinians, they are fighting over some land that they've been fighting over for over 1,000 years. Some land. And then you read about it and you see that it's just land. No, this is our land. No, this is our land. They want Jerusalem to be their place of worship. I mean, it's ridiculous. How long are they gonna be fighting this war? And then everybody else has to get it involved. You have all these um, protesters over here, just wreaking havoc. It's ridiculous. And now they are talking about war and all this stuff. What good is it going to do? War is nothing. There's no losers or no winners. Millions of people have lost their life because of war. And they're fighting over something that was given to all of us: land, resources. And just like, look at 9/11. What good did it do? They did all that, and then Al Qaeda and uh, they had to run all their life. They had a bounty on them. For what? And then they lost their life, and all those people lost their life. For what? What are we dying for? Liberty that you may not even experience, land that you may and your family might not even live on, and the war of the neighborhood. You go around some neighborhoods, you got tore down buildings, burnt out buildings, abandoned cars, streets that got craters in them that would tear your car up if you ride over them, abandoned stores, people hanging out, half of them probably got weapons. It's a war zone. It's just, what are we going to do about it? Why do we continue to let these people put our lives in jeopardy so they could stay in power, stay rich?
I think it was a year later they surrendered. But what was the point? And all those countless lives. And then the United States.
And then the black people that went over there to fight and stuff, they had to fight over there and then had to come back in this country and fight racism, Jim Crow. What are we doing? When are we going to stand up and make this world a better place for all people to live? Because all those people that started those wars and did all that, they dead now. But the conflict still goes on. Now, because we didn't see some war. We see Rwanda, who they was fighting the Tutsis and the other ones. They was fighting each other, killing each other. And we see. I grew up with Beirut, um, and Lebanon, and Iraq, and all these people are dead and suffering to this day. But what? And now you got people around here talking about, oh, it's going to be a race riot. You know, we had enough of those. We have had whole uh, cities of and people destroyed, their lives destroyed and killed just because of their race.
If they thought that they could build an atomic bomb and drop an atomic bomb on these countries and think that it's okay and it's all right.
And, and these war machines are getting out of hand. They got the nuclear wars. They got all these different kind of wars. They constantly coming up with all these. Now they want to take the war out in the state. I mean, out in the universe. They think they're going to have a war out in space. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what we're gonna do. But we got to do something because our kids are going to be born into a world that's going to be so unstable. And I always go back to this abortion thing. They're and they're trying to make people have kids in this unstable, sadistic world. And we're hearing more and more and more about kids being babies and kids being killed by their parents. We're hearing about that more and more and more. I mean, I'm hearing stuff that I never heard of growing up as a kid, or even really up until adult. I mean, until I became an adult. You didn't hear about uh, parents killing their kids, and now they want to make people have kids in this world that will kill them, especially uh, black parents. You have to have talks with your kids because you have these white people out here that will kill you just because of the color of the skin, and they want us to have babies that is going to inherit a unstable world. Now, if you want to have kids, that's fine. But if you don't want to, why are they forcing us to have kids? What is behind that? Because once you have them, they don't give a damn about them. They'll let them starve. They'll let them go to inadequate schools, and they have to live in a home that's very hostile. Parents have to go work two jobs in order to support these kids. What is really and you think about it, it was a time when they was trying to sterilize people, and they was sterilizing people because they didn't want them to have kids. Now they want them to have kids. Now they want to stop them from having abortions, even though women was dying in the streets trying to have an abortion, going to people that was just trying to take their money, and they would die, or they would use stuff. They would come up with all kind of stuff. Oh, take this; it'll make you happy. And now they want to make women have kids, and that's another war, a war on women's reproductive rights. As long, uh, let's see, when I was born, abortion was illegal. Okay, and I used to hear about women dying in back alleys trying to get an abortion. And they finally got it passed where it is legal and they could go into a safe place. And now they're trying to take it away. We are at war. And we need to start coming up with plans and strategies. And we need to do something. Because when you look at those neighborhoods that are tore down and raggedy and stuff like that, why? Why is it like that? It's because we as black people are scared to make it better. Are we lazy, weak, too poor to come together and clean it up? When I see black people standing around and all that trash and tore out buildings is around them, I can't. I don't. It's. We've been playing the victim for so long because we sit around there and wait on the white man to come and clean it up, and you see that ain't happening. You have grown up, your kids have grown up, and they in the neighborhood is still the same. And you have all these representatives that you go and vote for, and you have to walk past all this trash and garbage and burnt out buildings to go and vote for these people, and they ain't doing a damn thing for you. Only thing they holler about is crime, during election time, or drugs. But what about these war zone looking neighborhoods? It's because we have to do that. We need to make our neighborhoods look just as good as these rich hunkies, these rich people. And we can do it. Get rid of the corner stores, get rid of the liquor stores, get rid of the dope things and dope sellers, plant flowers, tear down these buildings. I don't care if you have to go tear them down yourself. Will we come together, put our money together, and hire contractors to come in? It's time for black people to be for black people, because it's time for us to do it ourselves. What happened? You know what happened? Civil rights happened. And uh, Brown versus Brown, which all of that was good. That's just something that's the way we thought back then. But it's time for us to go back to being for ourselves, helping ourselves, and doing for ourselves. Thanks for listening. We need to talk about war more. That's what I was referring to. Thank you.